Sage Intacct's Custom Report Writer is a great way to make your own reports. You can get to it by navigating to Reports and Custom Reports. On this page, you'll see all the reports already in your system, all the custom reports that is, or you can create your own by clicking Add in the top right. The first thing we'll do is choose our primary data source, which is the table that we'll build the report off of. If you do a quick scroll, you can see there are a lot of options here. For example, today, I'm going to build off AP bill detail, which is the lines on the AP bill. I'll go ahead and click Next. On this next step, we're going to choose what fields we want to look at on our report. So by default, it's going to choose base amount and memo. And instead of base amount, I'm going to go ahead and do transaction amount. Then I'll do total transaction paid. I want the retainage on there. And then we'll do total due. Also from the line level, I'm going to want to choose the project ID. So this is some good information, but I'm going to want a little more here. And if we can scroll down, we can see we have all these tables to choose from to get more columns to add to our report. So I'm going to expand AP bill, which is the header information on the bill. And I'm going to choose my date, my due date, my bill number, and then I'll do my vendor ID and my vendor name. One thing to note here is you'll see columns similar to the line level where you have total due, amount released, amount retained. When you're building a report off the bill detail level, it's important that you choose these amounts from the bill detail, as the header information will be the total for the bill, and if there are multiple lines, those totals will repeat and appear inaccurately. Versus if you choose the line level, then you'll see the values for each line, which will add up to the totals on the bill. So from here, got these fields. But I just have my project ID. I want to see that project name. So if I scroll a little further down, I can find the project table. And I can go ahead and select the project name and then any other fields I want on the project. So I'll also include the manager ID so I can group it by managers and see their amounts for all their bills. And the ID will just be the name. So once again, I'll drill a little further down, find that manager table this time. And then I can go into the contact on the manager and pull that manager's first and last name. So this seems like plenty of data. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue, or next rather. And here's where we can add some calculated columns. So earlier I was able to add the amount retained and amount released, but I don't know the total amount, open amount of retainage, at least not in a column on its own. But luckily I'm able to add that by subtracting out the amount released from the amount retained, and I can call that open retainage. Now, also earlier, I selected total due, but that total due leaves in the retainage amount if that amount hasn't been released. So I'm going to want a column that shows the total due minus the retainage that's still held on to. So here I'll do total due, and then I'll do minus, and then in parentheses, I can put that equation we made earlier. Amount retained minus amount released. So the bill's been paid off, but there's still $300 retained. This new column will show $0 instead of $300 that the total due originally showed. We'll call this column total due, not including retainage, and save. Now go ahead to our next step here. And here's where we order the columns on the report. So if we run right now, and we can actually go ahead and do that just to do a quick example. Set this to inception to date. And here we go, all US locations. So we run the report now, we'll have our memo, then our project, then our total due, and it's all the information we want, but it's just not in a very readable format. So this is where that step comes in handy. We'll go back to selecting sequence. So it doesn't make sense to add the memo, then the project, then the total due. So you can think about how you want to sort it and then go ahead and execute just by clicking and dragging. So in my case, I want my project managers to come first. So I'll put the ID and first and last name up here. And from there, I want to see their project info. So I have their ID and then project name. And then I want to have the vendor ID and vendor name next. And then we'll want the date of the bill, due date, and bill number. Then it makes sense to have the memo. And then we have these different fields. So total due, put that down there. I think it makes more sense to have the transaction amount, the amount paid, the total due, and then we can get into our retainage information and our total due not including retainage. So a little clicking and dragging, I think this report's going to be a lot prettier. This next step, we can choose the totals we want in the report. So you can do a count, sum, average, and so on for here. I'm just going to stick with sums today. I think this will be what you use most of the time. So I'm going to want to sum that total transaction paid, that transaction amount, and my retainage columns. Oh, and let's add total due also. I'll go ahead and click next here. All right, so now we get to choose the sort order of the columns. So I'm going to make it mirror what we had set up earlier, where I'll have the project manager first, and we'll want those ascending. And then we'll have the project ID, and we'll make those ascending. And then the vendor, I want to sort by next and have that ascending. And then I'll do the date and make that ascending. And you can, of course, keep going, but I think that'll be plenty organized the way I have it set up. So I'll go ahead and click next. Here we can add some filters to the report. So we have all the columns available from AP Bill Detail and from the other tables. So I want to just look at our open bills on this report. So I'll go ahead and find total due, and I'll say does not equal 0. And I also want to only look at bills that have a project on them. So I'll find project ID here, and then I'll say is not empty. And you can keep going here, set up as ever many as you need, but I think this will be plenty for what I'm trying to do. And I'll choose this to show the filters in the report output, so it's clear what we're filtering on. I'll click next. Here's where you can choose how your filters correspond to each other. For me, I wanted to do 1 and 2. You could do either or you could do a combination of different filters. Like here, they show you could do 1 and 2 or 3 by using parentheses. We're going to keep it a little simple today, though. 1 and 2 will be perfect for what we're building. And then we have grouping that can be applied. I'm going to leave the report as is for now, and then we'll come back and show what the grouping would look like. All right, so back on this screen, we can go ahead and run that report again. When I click View, loading on my window over here. And now this looks a lot better to me. My project manager first, and then the project information going into the vendor, and then more of the bill information. I can see their total due, which is just the open retainage amount. So then on my column, I can see that's 0, not including that retainage. And then if we scroll to the bottom, we can see those different totals we selected that we wanted to see. Like your other Intacct reports, you can drill in if you click on the hyperlink for any of these. So you can drill into the bill and see all the different information here. So this is a great looking report, but then just to show what grouping looks like, you can go ahead and enable grouping. And let's say we want to group by the project ID, just see totals for those. So I'll choose that there. This adds a new step. We'll do ascending, be consistent. And we can preview the report once again. So now we'll see a sum of the values for each project. Now that we selected grouping. So if you want more of a summary, then grouping's good. If you want more details, then that's when you would leave it off. You're also able to print the report with some different options you have here. You can print it to Excel, print it to a graph, and so on. Go ahead and continue here. You can go ahead and leave this blank. Nothing you really need to adjust here. Then you're also able to include additional prompts. So maybe you want people to select specific projects or specific vendors they want to look at, or really any column you have available. Label and organize the prompts. I think they're fine the way they are. Maybe I want to move up the vendor. I want you to choose vendor before project. You can just click that and then choose the position. Finally, we can name our report and add it to a menu. So I'll just call it Open AP Bills. And then I am going to add it right to our AP menu. And I'll click Save. So now when I refresh my screen, in the AP menu, I can go to Custom Reports. And then there's that report I just made right there. So as you can see, custom reports are a very intuitive way to build your own reports in Sage Intacct.